Siyempre, may mga religious teachings na nakumpleto na nila bawat detail, parang talagang script ng isang pelikula na buong-buo na ang lahat ng detalye. Pero, ganun ba talaga ang mangyayari after death? Yun ba talaga ang pupuntahan? O, na-oversimplify ng mga religions to the point that we miss the point. We miss the mystery. Ecclesiastes 12:7, at death, the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. From the wisest man that ever walked the face of the earth, sabi niya, at death, the spirit returns to God who gave it. Pag ito lang ang pagbabasehan natin ng iisipin tungkol sa kamatayan ng buhay sa kabila, dapat walang fear. Dapat walang agam-agam. Kasi, ang linaw-linaw, the spirit returns to God who gave it. Pero maraming ginawang pakikialam ang mga religions, mga religious ideas and doctrines na kung saan-saan na napunta yung spirit bago makabalik sa Diyos. Ipinadadala ng religion kung saan-saan istasyon, substations, sa mga halfway houses para makontrol nila yung ruta ng espiritong bumabalik sa Diyos. At marami sa pagkontrol na yun, may mga kasamang bayad, sacrifices, etc., etc. Kung ba't humaba, naging masalimuot ang landas ng espiritu pabalik sa Diyos dahil sa maraming religious teachings, samantalang ang linaw-linaw ng Ecclesiastes 12:7, at death, the dust returns to the ground it came from. Ang katawan ay bumabalik sa labok at ang espiritu ay bumabalik sa Diyos. Walang sinabi dito na rerouting, walang sinabi dito na ikot dito, ikot doon, punta dito, stop here, wait there. No, the Spirit returns to God who gave it. Ang pag-aaral natin, life to death to life, always alive. Let us discuss several premises para mag-build up ang ating pag-aaral. 1. God is eternal. Genesis 21:33, Abraham called on God, the eternal God. God is life. Job 33:4, the Spirit of God has made me. The breath of the Almighty gives me life. So, ang Espiritu ng Diyos, ang Espiritong ibinigay sa akin, at ang buhay na Espiritong ito ang nagbibigay sa akin ng buhay. But life is eternal. Or let's say, and life is eternal. Therefore, the life in me is eternal. John 10:28-30, sabi ni Jesus, I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand, or out of life. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all. No one can snatch them out of my Father's hand. Because everything and everywhere is in God's hands. Kaya nandito ka sa planet na ito, nasa Milky Way, nasa ibang Milky Ways, kaya nasa galaxy ka na ito, o sa ibang galaxies, everything, everywhere is in God's hands. At wala kang susuotan dito sa earth, sa ibabaw, sa gitna, sa ilalim, na wala ang Diyos. Jeremiah 23:24, do not I fill heaven and earth? At sabi ng Psalm 139, verse 7-12, your spirit is everywhere I go. I cannot escape your presence. If I go up to heaven, you will be there. And if I go down to the place of death, you will be there. Nandun ang Diyos kahit saan, nagliligtas, nagbibigay ng buhay at ng pag-ibig. Premise 2. The spirit of man is from God. Job 32:8, but it is the spirit in a person, the breath of the Almighty, ... So the spirit in the person is the breath of the Almighty. The spirit of man, therefore, is eternal because it is the breath of the Almighty. Like water, God's creations are eternal, though always going in phases, stages, cycles. Ang tubig nagiging gas, nagiging solid, nagiging liquid, pero tubig pa rin. At ang lahat ng creation ng Diyos, ganon. Cyclical ang kanilang phases of existence. Ecclesiastes 1, 7-9. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Everything is in cycles. Everything recycles. Baka nga ang tubig na ininom mo kanina, pinaghugasan ng paa ni Cleopatra some 2,000 years ago. Yung pawis na ipinawis ng isang baka, kung pumapawis man ang baka, ay maaaring yun ay naging tubig na ginagamit sa religious purposes nung ibang panahon. Yung kinakain mo ngayong mais ay nanggaling sa lupa na maaaring mga bumalik sa lupa ng mga katawan ng baka, ng butike, ng tao. Lahat nagre-recycle. Creation and all its elements never dies. Why? Because God who created it never dies. Is eternal. Creation never dies. It just recycles. It just receives and gives. That's why you inhale, exhale. Your body lives and then dies and decays and lives again in another form. Yung mga naging bahagi ng iyong katawan, magiging alikabok, papasok ulit sa mga roots ng halaman, magiging bunga ng halaman, makakain ng isang hayop, at yung hayop na yun ay mamamatay, babalik ulit sa lupa, makakain ulit, pabalik-balik. Nature, creation, is built on the concept of cyclical giving and receiving of reciprocation. Kaya sa Matthew 7:12, so in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. Cycle yun. For this sums up the law and the prophets. Sa biology, tinatawag ang lahat na carbon cycle. Pabalik-balik ang lahat. Every creation is a counterpart that ensures both existences. One cannot exist without the other. So, yan ang tinatawag na duality. Sa Genesis 1:4, God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. Duality. Ecclesiastes 3:1-8, everything on earth has its own time and its own season. There's a time for birth and death, and so on and so on. At i-discuss ng Ecclesiastes 3 yung mga magkakabaligtad na mga bagay na pare-pareho lang nangyayari in turn, in cycles, sa buhay. Sa classical physics, yan ang tinatawag na third law of motion. Every action is an equal, opposite reaction. Pag may lumalamig, may umiinit. Sa osmosis, liquid moves from a place of higher concentration to a place of lower concentration. Sa quantum physics, sinasabi, every particle has its equivalent opposite or antiparticle. An antiparticle will have the same exact property, but only opposite in charge, negative or positive. Sa natural processes, nagre-repeat at naglo-loop back ang lahat. One is born from the other. Kaya sa Ecclesiastes 1:5-7, the sun rises and the sun sets. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. And very, very interestingly, in Ecclesiastes, they discuss ang water cycle from evaporation to condensation, hanggang lahat na maging ulan na uli ang mga nag-evaporate. Yung nasa dagat na nag-evaporate, naging ulap, naging ulan, bumalik sa mga bundok, naging mga batis, naging mga bukal, at babalik uli, bababa na naman sa dagat at magre-recycle na naman. At alam yun ng Ecclesiastes, yung water cycle. Before science delve on it. Before science discovered it. Sa astronomy, may tinatawag na stellar formation. Stars are born and die, forming star systems, which again die to form another one by collecting stuff from other nearby star systems. So, napaka-interesting na pag tinignan natin ang buhay, pabalik-balik, paulit-ulit, nagre-recycle. In so many words, creation and all its components is always alive, though in different phases or stages in cycles, by the process of changing from one form to another, which is called transformation. Sa classical physics, this is the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form into another. Sa relativistic physics, matter and energy is one and the same. Matter can create energy, and energy can create matter. In other words, particles can make light, and light can produce particles. These two laws work together and state that whatever is in the universe has always been in the universe. Nothing can be added or subtracted from it. Matter and energy, creation and recreation is a continuous, repeating cycle. Halimbawa, wood, which is matter, burns and produces fire, which is energy. Then wood becomes carbon, which is then reabsorbed into the earth, where plants use it as fertilizer to make wood again. Paikot-ikot, pabalik-balik. Creation and all its components is always alive, stays alive, by exchanging with each other. Sa biology, there's a carbon-oxygen cycle. Animals and humans breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Ang galing-galing ng design ng Diyos. Walang nasasayang, walang natatapon, walang nawawala. Luke 6:38, the way you give to others is the way God will give to you. Cycles of life. New Year, then end of the year. New Year, then middle of the year, then end of the year. Circles of life. The beginning is the end. And when the beginning is the end, therefore there is no beginning and there is no end. There is only eternity. There is only a circle. A circle of life. A cycle of life. You, your loved ones, all creations, all of us never die. Ecclesiastes 12:7, and the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. We never die. In Jesus, by the love of God, we only go through the cycles of life, the various stages of eternal life, the various stages of matter. We only go through phases of composition and recomposition, constitution and reconstitution, simplification and complexification. Do not be afraid of death. It leads to eternal or another phase of life. Do not be afraid of decomposition. It leads to recomposition. God is eternal. God has no beginning and no end. From God is a cycle. In Jesus, do not be afraid of death. When you are in Jesus, there is no death, only eternal life. John 5:24, sabi ni Jesus, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life and will not be judged, but has crossed over from death to life. And if I may expound, whoever hears the word of Jesus that sets us free from the law, from death, from judgment, and believes him who sent me, sabi ni Jesus, has eternal life and will not be judged. whoever believes that Jesus came to set you free from the law will not be judged because the law is destroyed for your sake. And you have crossed over from death to life. Pag naniwala ka kay Jesus, tinanggap mo siya, tinanggap mo ang kanyang salita, ang kanyang katuruan na pinapalaya kanya mula sa law, therefore wala nang effect sa iyong law, walang judgment, walang death. Therefore, you begin eternal life and you will never die. Only your body will die, but of course not your spirit. Because the spirit returns to God who gave it. Do not be afraid of the end. There is no end. Luke 1:33, His kingdom, of which you are a part because you are a child of God, will never end. Therefore, you will have no ending. You will not end. You move from life to life, or you move from the so-called death because of the law to life because of grace and love. Knowing, understanding, enjoying eternal life is the gift of new hope. Enjoying peace, rest, and joy from knowing eternal life through Jesus is the gift of hope. So know and enjoy this gift. Receive and give away this gift. Stop being afraid of death. Stop thinking of death. At tumigil manakot ang kamatayan because in Jesus, you move from death to life. There is no death. You only have eternal life. Your spirit